This is Real News Media TV, coverage you can trust. Please like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Select all for daily news updates. Massive roadblocks in Westmoreland as residents demand better roads. Upset residents from several communities along the Caledonia to Darlington roadway in Westmoreland have mounted a massive roadblock to press the authorities to address poor road conditions. The blockade stretches for miles and has displaced scores of commuters. The protest action has cut off access to communities such as Caledonia, Frame, Curran, Darlington, Highgate, Kippin, and Grotto. The protesters have downed the trees and used large stones, old cars, and other debris to block the roadway. Golding warns of harsher times. Opposition leader Mark Golding is warning that harsher times are ahead for Jamaicans and says the government must step in to cushion the blow. Golding, addressing a People's National Party divisional conference in Portland on Sunday, argued that Jamaicans continue to be impacted by the fallout from the pandemic. He accused the government of not doing enough. This is not the year to be so tight with the thing. This is a year when suffering is going to be bitter on the people. Government has an obligation, a duty to cushion the crisis for the people, Golding said. It is not beyond the government to do that, but them never listen. And I can tell you what you see happening now with the industrial unrest is partly because of those things, because the pressure is on the public sector workers, and the process to bring in this reclassification of their employment arrangements, and their salaries being done in a way that don't build no confidence. It has been done in a way that has eroded trust in the process and in the government. Unions representing the public sector workers have been complaining that they have not been getting the information in a timely basis, and they are not being brought to the table to negotiate any of those details around the package. And here we have last week's strike, Water Commission strike, Housing Trust strike, Air Traffic Controllers strike, all in 1 week. And who next? So it's a bitter time. The people are going to be looking for an alternative to this government, Golding asserted. He argued that the PNP stands ready as a viable alternative to lead the country forward. Golding argued that as a result of the tough times, crime will increase as unattached youths will be looking for an alternative to make a better life. We can't solve those issues with states of emergency and repressive laws that take away the rights of the people. So the people will be looking for an alternative, and it is for us, the People's National Party, to show that we are ready. We have a good team, and we just need to show Jamaica that we have a good team, and that our team is pulling together, and that we have the ideas and the policies and the programs that can deliver for the people. I am telling you that the next PNP government must focus on both wealth creation for the people, but also delivering Jamaica out of some of the wicked social problems that cause us to have so much crime and violence in the country. Our primary school system and our basic school system are not delivering quality education to all our children. Some children are doing well, many children are not. It's not that they are dunce, but it's just that the way in which the system is organized, he concluded. Taxi operators protest the bad roads in St. Mary. Irate taxi operators and residents of Hamilton Mountain in St. Mary have blocked the Eden Park Bridge to protest over deplorable road conditions. The roadblock was mounted from as early as 4 a.m. The protesters used old cars and other debris to block the bridge. They are demanding improved road conditions. Superintendent of Police for the St. Mary Police Division, Bobette Morgan, has confirmed the protest actions but did not provide any further information as it relates to the status of the roadblock. The news was also reliably informed by a police source that scores of teachers have returned home as they are unable to cross the blockade to get to work. Vehicular access has also been restricted due to the blockade. 2 killed in Angels St. Catherine crash. 2 people were killed in a crash along the Damhead Main Road in Angels St. Catherine this morning. The incident happened about 6:40. It is reported that a motorcyclist and a pillion were traveling along the roadway when it crashed into a Toyota Hiace, which was traveling in the opposite direction. The impact caused the pillion to be flung from the bike, who landed in the windscreen of a car. The motorcyclist and the pillion died from their injuries. The police were called to the scene. Police keeping close watch on Hopewell High School. The Hanover Police will be paying close attention to happenings at Hopewell High School following a recent altercation between students at that learning facility, with recent media reports highlighting several violent confrontations among students across the country, both in and outside of school compounds. The clash among students at the Hopewell High School generated great interest within the parish, as such incidents were said to be unheard of in Hanover. Tabling a report at the May meeting of the Hanover Municipal Corporation, Superintendent of Police in charge of Hanover, Sharon B. Putt, pointed out that all parties involved in the altercation at Hopewell High School have been identified and the interviews have been done. The school is being monitored. We would have identified all the parties that were involved in the conflict. Interviews were done with the parents and the students. Interviews will be continuing with key individuals to curtail the situation. Also, there are some internal investigations being done in the school. The police also have ongoing periodic checks at the school, she informed. B. Putt's report was in reference to an altercation which took place on the school grounds a little over a week ago, where two groups of students were caught up in a physical confrontation, leading to minor injuries occurring, threats being issued between the groups, and the classes suspended for a day at the institution, with a population of over 1,100 students. Reports claim that one group of students who hail from Montego Bay St. James were seen spray painting the walls of the school with a known gang logo, while another group of students who are from Hanover objected to the defacing of the school's walls. This led to an argument between the two groups, and a physical confrontation involving stone throwing and other weapons ensued. 3 students were said to have received injuries resulting from the fracas, with none of the injuries said to be life-threatening. Based on the threats being issued, there was a great amount of fear evident on the school compound, resulting in parents being called in to retrieve their children, and the police summoned to quell the altercation. B. Putt emphasized that the school grounds will be monitored closely as investigations continue. Morris bats for legal framework to shield the seniors. Opposition Senator Dr. Floyd Morris is pushing for the establishment of a legislative framework to protect the senior citizens in Jamaica. Last Friday, the Senate debated a motion moved by Morris for the promulgation of legislation in the form of an Elderly Care and Protection Act. Morris wants a special select committee of the Senate to deliberate on the scope and the magnitude of the law to be formulated. It galls me every time I listen to the news and I hear of abuse that is meted out to our citizens by individuals in the society, and it is a sick society that engages in such abuse of the older population. I want us to establish a strong legislation to protect these individuals because they are vulnerable, Morris said. The senator, who has a track record for lobbying for the disabled community and other vulnerable groups, told his colleagues in the upper house that Trinidad and Tobago had passed the legislation to protect their senior citizens, while St. Vincent and the Grenadines was in the process of drafting a similar law. He reasoned that as people grow older, there is the likelihood that they may develop a physical disability. The opposition lawmaker lamented that many senior citizens have been scammed and abused by family members. He added that they also faced significant challenges in collecting pensions. Morris called on Labor and the Social Security Minister Carl Samuda to review the current pension for National Insurance Scheme beneficiaries. He said that the pension that is being paid to senior citizens should be increased urgently as a result of the sharp rise in inflation. In her contribution to the debate, Government Senator Dr. Sapphire Longmore commended Morris for moving the motion to protect another vulnerable group in Jamaica. Longmore, a psychiatrist, elaborated on Morris's concerns about how the elderly suffered ill treatment. She said elder abuse often occurs at the places where seniors live, and as such, it is difficult for them to report these incidents. It is unfortunate, a case of being abused by family members, grandchildren, spouses, and so the victim is often afraid to talk. It is manifested in physical abuse, psychological abuse, sexual abuse, financial abuse, and neglect, she said. She argued that existing laws that can be used to protect the elderly might not go far enough in addressing various situations affecting senior citizens. Longmore said that elderly people who are at times victims of sexual abuse often grapple with medical problems such as memory loss that make it difficult for them to report these incidents. This additional violation to the elderly with an underlying medical condition should be taken into account if an Elderly Care Anti-Protection Act is being pursued, she said. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Select all for daily news updates.